everyone, welcome back to Blue Heart Craft Catch-Up episode number 98. Sorry if you can hear background noise. It is very hot here at the moment. Well, hot for us. We've been having a lovely bit of warm weather, so I have got all windows open and all doors open. So there might be noises you can hear, so I apologise about that. But welcome to the channel if you're new here. My name is Abby. I live in the northwest of the UK with my family and two dogs who do like to make an appearance quite a lot. And on Fridays I upload a video where I discuss what I've been crafting on over the past week. So come get comfy, get a project and get a drink and we'll sit and chat. I've got my, I've actually just got Pepsi Max in here, and it is in my mug that says knitting keeps me from unravelling. I got this at Secret Santa with my craft group in December, just gone. So big thank you to Diane if you're watching this. I love my little mug. I don't have many mugs or anything like that, but the ones I have I absolutely adore and love. So let's get on to the crafting. So I actually have one FO this week. So my FO is my socks. Now I am entering these into Denise of Dear Designs Year of the Sock Make Along, and these I actually managed to get finished in time, take a photo and upload it with the hashtag before the end of the month. So feeling very accomplished with myself. I think I've only been able to do that once. So yeah, managed to do it. And this I used actually a self-striping yarn, and it was done by Alex and Danny of My Yarny Corner. It was a sock striping set, so you got the contrast yarn, which is the pink, and then the striped yarn, and I absolutely love it. As soon as they showed this on their channel, this was the same colours as what they did their sample test run in that Alex used herself, and as soon as I saw this striped colour, I absolutely loved it. The one Alex did, she put grey with hers, but the socks that came with the pink, I love it. The pink matches perfectly up with the pink and the stripes, so I was very careful when I was knitting them. I knit them two at a time, but I did like foot one, foot two, heel one, heel two, you know, I didn't actually have them both on the same set of needles. And I did that to make sure that when I was going to be putting in the heel and stuff like that, it would not be next to a pink stripe on either of the socks, and the same with the toes. That was just because I thought you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, so that's why I've made sure on this one here you can see the toes, the green, it's green and blue around the heel on here, and then on this one blue by the toe and blue by the heel. So that's what I did. Now, to make sure that I wasn't going to be worrying about trying to match up with the cuff as well, I'm worrying about potentially running out of yarn, I decided to just do a roll down cuff. So basically what I just did was, until it was like an inch longer than what I wanted it to, just knit there and then did a stretchy cast off, and that is how I did the roll down cuff. I have woven in all my ends, so these are completely finished. Feeling very accomplished there to have them completely finished, and that is my only FO. Yes, I know, I wish I would have had more done, but hey ho, it is what it is. When I was speaking to you all last week, I had one of the socks completely done, and I'd done the heel up to on the second sock, so I didn't have loads to do on them this week, which is why I've got them done. But I'm just made up, get them off the needles. So let's get on to whips. If you're wondering what I'm looking down at, I've got my phone here with my notes on, so I don't forget pattern names, details and stuff like that. So my first whip is my Frankenstein. Now he doesn't look like he's had a lot of work done, because he was his head was done and most of his body was done when I saw his last week. However, he hadn't had his facial features done. I had to crochet them, sew them all on, and the fingers and the hands take a fair bit of work. So it looks like I've not done loads, but it's actually been quite a lot. So here we are with, got one arm done. just need to sew that on. That's why I've got a long tail on it. I've got the second hand done. Now you do all the fingers and the thumb individually, so you don't have to sew them on, you crochet them in, but again, that is 10 pieces that you've got to do little fiddly ones. But I think the outlook of it is really good. So there's the little hand. I love how Made by Mary does her hand. So this is a paid for pattern, this Frankenstein one, and what it is it's going to be him holding Frankenstein, holding the bowl for you to put sweets in for Halloween. And I'm going to be gifting this to my brother-in-law because he is realised he's obsessed with Halloween. And this is his little head and the body. Look at his little face. I mean, I'm not the best with faces, but I mean, I love his little face. So the tongue came with the pattern. You know, you do a little smiley face. He's like licking his lips. I love the eyes that she's had us do. Now, my eyes aren't perfect, but again, that's on me. Nothing to do with the pattern, but I think he's so cute. And then he's got scars on as well. I was really getting into doing the scars. To be honest, if I hadn't have thought, wait, how much is too many scars, he probably would have been covered head to toe in them. I was just having so much fun doing them, which is quite weird because normally I don't like sewing on details. But I think it's because that even though they're not perfect matching up with each other, so like if you have a look in here, some of the lines are longer than each other. I mean, that's what scars like though, that's the thing. So it looked quite effective with my bad sewing skills. So that happened to work out great. So I was going a bit, I'd have done scars all day if it would have let me. But I had to go. Rein it in, Abby, rein it in. And then I went to go and attach the bolts on and realised I put scars around the areas I'm like trying to fit them in. So they're not in the place I'd put them in had I not have done scars, but I was having to fit them in where they look symmetrical and where there was no scars. So that is what we've got at the moment. I didn't do the hair details because I tried to, and no matter what I did, it was just not looking effective. It looked better like this. I may do something else with the hair a little bit later down the line, but that's not the moment. So I've got to finish doing do the second arm. He has a little coat that he's wearing. Got to do both legs and then the pot. So this should be finished in a week or two. Yeah, so it shouldn't be too long now. As I said, it looks like I've not done lots, but then I've done 10 separate pieces for each hand. So that's 10 separate pieces for the hands, and then so I've had to crochet 16 small pieces and then sew bits on and then add on that. So yeah, I've done a fair bit, although when I looked at it I was like, I've not actually done it looks like I've not done a lot, and I felt quite disheartened to think, oh, I've got that done in a week. But then when I actually sat there and thought about it, I was like, yeah, you have a little break on yourself. You've done a fair bit and you've done embroidering the face, which is something I always dread. So for him I have used Stylecraft Special DK. The blue is like a pale blue, I believe it's called, or baby blue, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. The white and black are just white and black as usual. The green is grass green. The dark grey is graphite. The orange is Jaffa, and that's basically it. So yeah, he's coming along slowly but surely. I don't know what colour I'm going to do the crochet bowl that he's holding. But yeah, I'm really excited to get it done. It's going to be a gift to my brother-in-law. He's not from the UK. When he came over to the UK, he like lived in like flats and stuff like that, so he wasn't really around families, you know, where kids would be trick-or-treating. He saw it for the first time last year, as they now live on a street where there are quite a few families, and he loved giving out sweets to the kids all Halloween and seeing them dressed up. He absolutely loved it. So that's my little gift for him this Halloween. I think I'm gonna have to make the bowl bigger though, because it's supposed to be done with an Aran or worsted weight yarn, but I was going to use what I had in stash. I'm using a DK yarn and a 3mm hook. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to make just the bowl bigger than what it would normally be. My next work in progress is another crochet item, and Charlie is whining, don't know what for. You alright, dude? Sit. No, get off me, crochet. Off the crochet, sit. He's whining at the moment. He's always whining over something. So anyway, here is the Atlanticus cowl blanket that I'm working on. I'm trying to hold it up. That's pretty much it. It's the same on the other on the bottom half, but it is getting quite big now. It's just a bit shorter than my wingspan. It's probably from wrist to wrist really, without stretching or pulling it. And I'm 5'1" to give you a bit of an idea on my wingspan. Now this one, I will admit, I've done barely any rounds on it. I have done from where that green stitch marker is, so I have done actually 3 rounds on this week. But I like how it looks. The rounds I've done, maybe I'll pick it down. So I like the rounds that we've done this week. I don't know whether it's focusing or not. They are quite intricate, but the pattern repeat is something like 20 stitches long at times. And it is, you know, trying to remember that thing. And there have been times where on a previous row I've realised as I've come around to it again that I've messed up on that previous row. So I've just fudged it how I could. Just done that. I've not thought I'm ripping it back, because it is like, you know, say for example one part it's like do 3 double crochets and I've done like 4. I mean, do like 4 double crochets and I've done 3. I've just fudged it to make the stitch count work out on the next round. Yeah, and it's been a lot of that going into rounds before, so it's been quite intense. And sometimes you're going into like 2 rounds before, and then a few stitches later you're only going 1 round before. And so that has really, it's really took a lot of my focus. It's not been something I've been able to like sit on like some of the other rows here. Like it's the same stitch over, it's like a 2-stitch pattern. That set there's 2-stitch pattern, that's like 2-stitch pattern, that's like 4. So it's, a lot of it has been like, although it's been like detailed, it has been quite sort of easy TV monotonous crochet, whereas this has not been at all. This has been, I've had to sit and focus on it, so it's been a lot of hard work, but it is looking good. The next 2 rows now that I've finished, well, one I've got to like do half a side. Once I've done that, it will, the next 2 rows are just same stitch all the way around. Yes, so excited for that. That's the goal. I saw it after that like 3rd row of, you know, where it's all different stitches, bless you, where it's all different stitches. I've been like, I looked ahead and I was like, right, okay, where is it next getting easier? Sorry, the dog's sneezing and coughing behind me. Are you finished now? They say don't work with kids and animals, and I can definitely say don't work with animals. So yeah, I looked ahead in the back and I was like, okay, when's the next easy, well, you know, monotonous crochet row? And I'm like, yes, I'm nearly there now. So that is the goal. I am using a 4mm hook for this, and I'm using Lion Brand Mandala cakes in the colourway Spirit, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's like greys, blacks and blues. So this is what I've got of the cake I'm currently working on. I'm not colour controlling, I'm letting it flow as it flows. So this next cake here, will finish on the light blue. Now if the next colour should be the very light grey, or if it starts on a different shade of blue or a different shade of grey, the next cake, I'm just starting it like that. I'm not bothered about cutting cakes, because if I wanted it to be absolutely perfect and the colours to be perfect, I would have just bought the yarn separately and done the cutting and weaving in the ends myself. I don't want to be, this is why I chose to go with a colour changing cake, is because I did not want to have to think about it. And I love how it's turned out. I love that the pattern's not totally in order, and that's something I am really enjoying with it. And I find it actually quite nice, which for control freak like me, it's quite weird to be like completely letting go, but I absolutely love that, of just seeing how it all comes together and what colours can wear and how things look. And yeah, I'm just totally loving it. And that, so yeah, that is my Atlanticus cowl. And the reason why I chose the blue mandala yarn is, one, because I love that colourway that they did, but also because this yarn, the pattern is supposed to be based on like the Atlantic Ocean and things like that, and I think that colourway screams ocean for me. So yeah, that's the reason I chose that. And now on to some knitting. So first bit of knitting, I need to block this because it keeps, but I'm going to have to do it once I've finished everything, because it does keep, the ribbon keeps folding up on itself. But this is my jumper that I'm doing using some of the yarns that I got from my my Yarny Corner advent calendar. So I have finished the length of what I wanted. As I said, once it blocks out, it'll be a bit longer and it would be fine. So I am going to then just start doing do a bit of a rib border on the sleeves and a slightly ribbed on the, pick up the stitches on the neckband and do a little bit of ribbon there, not as big as this bottom ribbon, and then block it, and it should all fit out perfectly then. So yeah, that is what we've got at the moment. So as I said, that all the my Yarny Corner Way yarns from last year's advent calendar, but obviously this is not 24 colours, this is this is 10, so I've got 14 balls left, and I have got a pattern that I am probably going to use for the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do small stripes and then use a solid colour, something like that grey again, to sort of break up the stripes and keep that flowing through, and make a bit more like maybe a vest top or something like that, or maybe a rocket tee. I'm not 100% sure. That's what I'm going to go with it for that. That's how this one's looking at. So the grey is the only one that isn't the My Yarny Corner yarn, and that is Stylecraft Special 4-ply here. So yeah, that's the only one that isn't. But then I just wanted a bit of a neutral colour that I knew I could get more of if needed, that was quite easy to get hold of, and that Stylecraft is to be able to do for these borders. And I already had it in stash, and that was another thing I was trying to avoid, buying more yarn. So yeah, that's what I was doing with that. I was using a 3mm needle with it, and I was using my Knit Prosings, the interchangeable ones, because I can change the cable size to what I need. I'm going to need to change it for a smaller cable size now that I'm going to be doing the sleeves. So yeah, hopefully, again, a couple of weeks, that should be done. It's one by one ribbon, and that does take me a while. Yeah, and the pattern is a free pattern, just like the Atlanticus is, and it is the Sock Knitters Pullover by Tangletown Knits. And what it is that pattern's actually a jumper, and it's designed for you to be able to use up all your scraps of sock yarn. And I think that's actually such a great idea, on being able to use up scraps and keep them going in a project you love. So I will link it down below in the description box, like I will with all the patterns that I am talking about today. Then the final thing I've been knitting on, I knit on this twice a month, but I usually only show you like once a month so that you can see what I have got done. So here we are. This is the Paint Pan Cowl. This one is a pay for pattern, and I am using it to create my project for the for Judy at Witch Piece Crafts Yarn Vacation AU challenge this year. And what it is we get a destination every 2 weeks, and just basically pick colours that go with that place for a reason. Some people are doing like flowers, some are doing for the temperature in that area, all different things. Mine, what I am doing is I'm finding something historical about the place and doing the colours for that. And I don't think I've shown you the last 3 ones. So these 2 here are for Brazil. The multicoloured is for the carnival, as Brazil has, like, you know, the world's largest carnival. The blue is for water, because my great grandfather used to be a fireman on ships, and what I mean by fireman is he would like shovel coal into the boilers and keep them going. and he primarily worked on what was called the booth line, which is basically just like a shipping liner, and they did quite a lot of Amazon cruises. And so he went to Brazil quite a lot on these cruises, like working, and I just think that was absolutely amazing. As I'd love to be able to go to Brazil and see the Amazon rainforest, and my great grandfather got there, blew my mind. And a couple of years ago we were actually in Liverpool Maritime Museum, and we were walking around one of the exhibits, and it was about Liverpool as a port, and on one of the models of the ships, I recognised the name, so I went onto my Ancestry account and I saw that it was one of the ships that my great grandfather had sailed on. So I just thought that was absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's what the blue for. These two here, the yellow and the orange, are for Vancouver Island. Now the yellow is because Vancouver Island became like quite prominent and populous through the gold rush, so that's what that golden yellow signifies. And apparently a lot of the area was formed by volcanic eruptions and lava, so that's what the orange is for. The next one, next place, because sometimes we get countries, sometimes we get cities, states, and the next one was a state, and this is South Dakota. So I did the light grey for Mount Rushmore, and the red was the biggest tribe, Native American tribe in the area. Their flag was mostly red, with I believe white on it, so I wanted to signify that with that red on, and it's actually sparkly, don't know whether you can tell, and that's just because I've used red a couple of times in here, and this was a bit of red yarn I had in my stash that I've not used before, and the outside's just Stylecraft Special DK in graphite. So yeah, I think we've only got 2 prompts left, and then I might do a few more places to get it going around a bit, because that is definitely nowhere near big enough. It's not even going around my neck yet, so I'm just going to keep find more places and do things like that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying doing that, and I'm working that on 4mm needles. So that's what I have been working up to this week, and yeah, it's just been a bit of a weird packed week. I've spent most of my time in the garden, not gonna lie, enjoying the sunshine, as we've had quite weirdly warm and beautiful weather. I'm not complaining, I'm loving it, but yeah, that's what I've spent most of my weekends doing. So I've just actually finished recording and then forgot to show you a purchase I had that I thought was really cool and wanted to show. So this is getting fitted in, slopped in somewhere. That's why it might not make sense timeline wise. Anyway, I decided to make a purchase of Denise at Dear Designs. I'll link her down below in the description box. She's recently started engraving things on wood and stuff like that, and one of the things she showed off I was in love with, and it is this here. So I believe Denise is going to be selling them where you don't have to purchase a lanyard with it, or a wrist strap, or whatever it's called. But basically what it is you stick your cake of yarn on here, you put your wrist through the strap, and it holds the yarn there, and you can knit or crochet, and it's all there ready to go. And she does have a few designs of these. It says keep calm, carry yarn there. Why am I focusing on it? And then on the bottom says knit fast, tie warm, and then a yarn ball. As I said, she's got different designs, but this is the one I fell in love with, the knit fast and die warm. I thought that was so cool and so true. And then I also purchased this little keyring, and it's got one of those types of clips on it. Great, because I find these so much easier, these types of clips where you just do that rather than an actual keyring. I find it so much easier to use and switch over for what you need. And on one side it has make one right, and on the other make one left, which is a type of stitch in knitting where, depending on the way you make one, which way you wrap the yarn and insert your needle, etc., and it slants the stitches different ways. I'm constantly forgetting which one is which, and so whenever I'm doing things like doing a toe on a sock, I'm like, oh got to Google this quick. So having one here is really, this is simple for me to have. I can keep it on my sock bag and I will know what it is straight away, not having to Google or search for anything. So I have picked them up, and I will link to Denise's Ko-fi shop where she's selling them, and I'll also link to her channel down below in the description box because I think they are so cool for a little knitting project. Yeah. I'm gonna get off here, go and edit, and then get working on some projects. I think I'm gonna work on my Ukraine socks. Today I have, obviously, like if you watched last week's video, I have finished one of the socks, and the second stock I've got about 10 rows started on the toe. That's why I've not shown it this week, but I think I'm gonna get a bit of work on that done now. So yeah, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Hope you're all staying safe and taking care. Please let me know down in the description box below what you've been working on, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.